We live in a world where everything is becoming AI powered and AI generated, and a lot of people are leveraging AI for a lot of cool projects and cool initiatives. So, I wanted to kind of play around with the idea of what can I, as a bug bounty hunter, hacker, red teamer, whatever label you want to give me, what can I do with AI to make my life easier and also make a fun, entertaining video and show it to you guys? Because I see a lot of comments, whether it's on bugbounty.forum or it's my comments or in my Discord of so and so is using AI or these hackers are using AI that we don't have access to and finding vulnerabilities. And I promise you that is not the case for me. All the bugs that I'm finding are mostly manual hunting. And when I say mostly, it's just because I'm using also tools like, your Burp Suite or Kaido and things like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm leveraging AI to find them. But in this video, the challenge was, how do I leverage AI to do what I call lead generation? If you've seen my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. It's where I say you do Recon and then you find leads and assets to go hack on. And how do I use AI to do that for me? And also, and if you've seen even my live streams, you remember that I would do a lot of grep, where I would grep through my data and look for specific titles or specific names, DNS records and things like that. So I want to offload all of these to AI, and I want to make a video on this fully just powered by AI doing the whole thing, starting with our configuration, which we're going to use Zapier and use their MCP and then use a Neo to create a prompt for us to do it all. So this is going to be one of the first hacking with AI content series that I want to do. I would love to hear it from you. If you want to see more AI content, please just drop me a comment saying AI and let me know if you enjoy this kind of content. And we'll see, maybe I'll make more of these. So what you want to do is you want to go to mcp.zapier.com. You want to sign up for an account and it will take you here. All you need to do is set up a new MCP server. I'm using Claude for this video. You can use whatever you want. If you want to use ChatGPT, Cursor, they all have an option for it. I'm going to use Claude. It's going to just put us into here and we can make this maybe the Recon MCP if you want to call it. And once it is ready, we can add our tools. So I'm going to add a Google Sheet, for example, because we're going to need it. And what we want is we're going to actually select all these tools just in case so we can have them. Select all, we're going to connect it. It's going to ask you to log in and we're going to do a select all and allow it to have access. And now we have all our 28 tools. We are going to be good to go and it's going to add this. The next thing is we want to make sure that we connect it to Claude. So all we have to do is take this URL and make sure. So now you want to do is want to click right here and add it to Claude. It's going to bring you here and you can just connect it. And once that is connected, we want to put in our URL. We're going to accept and allow it to connect Zapier to Claude. And once all of that is done, we can just confirm, do you have access to my Zapier MCP? Let's make sure we spell everything right. You should come back and say, yes, I have access to the following connected tools, creating, reading, updating spreadsheets, and so on. So we have our first initial access. We have connected the two, and now this is where it gets fun. But before we jump into the video, let me quickly explain why I'm doing Google Sheets. A lot of times when I collaborate with other hackers or I'm just hacking on my own or large companies with a lot of assets, it's kind of hard to track what you have tested. But also on top of it all, how do you prioritize them? And how do you just keep track of everything? So when we do a lot of collaborations with a lot of my friends, this is what we do. We create a Google Sheet. We don't just overcomplicate it and we just dump all of our Recon data in there. That includes titles, the URLs and things like that. And then we also put a column where if somebody has tested it or if we have found bugs. So I want to mimic that scenario, but automated using AI and also have most of this stuff being powered by Neo, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. To make this easier, you can see I've gone a lot of back and forth with Neo and I had to find the sweet spot and just do this like 20 times until I got the data that I wanted to. But I started off finally with this problem. I said, hey, your job is to create a framework for me to explain to people what makes an asset worth investigating purely based on the HTTPX results. So think about your giant HTTPX. It has your titles, it has your content length, it has the technology, the redirection rules of where it's going, and all of that stuff. And I gave it some examples of things that I find interesting, like the URL itself. Does it have admin, API, or anything like GitLab or GitHub in it? Is it behind corporate or internal? Is there any assets that it resolves, so like Jira, Jenkins, admin panels? Is it redirected to an SSO for employees? These are your Okta, OneLogin, and things like that. Or is it going to a login SSO for the consumer? So these are the login pages that you log into, and then it takes you to the pages that you're supposed to go. Are there any assets that are APIs that I can brute force for? Any IIS applications so I can do some IIS short name scans, any dev sites and things like that. The goal here is to have a great way to identify if an asset is worth investigating and just not a random page. And this is the command I'm running, and I want you to just help me with this. So it did a little bit of thinking, and it did great because it gave me a good framework of what looks like an interesting asset. So these are the admin panels, these are the internal infrastructure, some CI/CD DevOps stuff, issue trackers, source code and artifacts. Then it's doing the second tier, which is telling us these are the APIs, dev sites, authentication services, monitoring services, databases, and things like that. Obviously, we have the third one where it's looking at the login. Is it being redirected to a login? Is it a file upload, CDN, email, support tickets, payments and billings and things like that? And obviously, it's going to put all the marketing sites like your www, blog, news, press, about, and all that stuff in our fourth tier. But then it's going to look at the tech detect. Are these IIS? Are these Tomcat? Are these WordPress? And based on all of those, it's going to also give us a little bit of priority. And then, of course, we're going to look at the redirect analysis, your Oktas, logins, and things like that. So it's looking for these SAML, ADFS for Windows, and all the different ones. So it's doing a lot of different cool stuff for us. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have thought about all of these at once. It would have taken me a lot more time to come up with this. So that's why I leverage Neo to do it, because it just makes it easier. It has context of what I want to do. And on top of it all, I'm using Neo because it understands the project discovery tools that I'm already leveraging, and it has context on exactly what I want to do. So that's really important. That's why I've chosen Neo. But then you have all these different options. It's going to do some negatives. It's going to give you some code logic, which we don't need really. It's for how to actually make a decision. So you can assign some sort of a pointing system to it or scoring system. Then at the end, I say, can you give me a prompt.md, which shows this entire thing, and I can use it in the form of a prompt to give it to Claude or whatever model I want to use. And it could do this job for me. And the ultimate goal is to create a Google Sheet using MCP. So if I do Sheet, somewhere in here, it should be right here. It says, hey, make a Google Sheet for me. And then also, I want you to include your expertise and so on. So that was the setup that I got from Neo. And all we have to do now is copy this, go into our projects, and we're going to create a new project calling it Recon MCP. And we're going to create this project. And we're going to paste all of that into this instructions right here. And once we have it, we can save our instructions. And now we can test our methodology and see what we get out of it. Hopefully it works. Honestly, with AI, it's hit or miss because every time I've ran this, 9 out of 10 times it's been solid. There are some times when it's like, hey, I can't do that, or it gets confused by its own tooling, but we're going to try it out and see how this goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this on Equifax as VDP. I'm going to cat results. I'm doing a sort U to make sure everything is unique. And I'm going to grab everything that has a 4 or 3 because honestly, we have a lot of data in here, and the more data we have, the longer it's going to take it to do this. And maybe I can just also do a grep Equifax only because it's all of the assets. Let's see how many that is. 400. We'll do that one for now. And all I'm going to do is grab all this data. Nothing fancy. We're just going to copy all of this just like we said we would. And the prompt, drop it and say, create a Google Sheet for me to have a list of assets to prioritize. And we're going to send that, and it's going to take a while. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll see what it comes up with. And it looks like it's doing some stuff. It's parsing it. It's looking at the context window. It is a comprehensive analysis. Perfect. Now let me create a Google Sheet. We have to allow it. We can always say always allow. If you want to just do it once because you're paranoid, you can do that too. But I'm going to say always allow. It's going to go ahead and create our spreadsheet, and hopefully we have something to go on and we can try this out as our first target. And it looks like this is finally done. It didn't take that long. I thought it would take a lot longer, but just remember, this is a small subset of data that we've tried. And based on this, it said it's found critical assets of 11, high as 7, medium as 1, and it's also giving us some of the top targets like business API, which I would probably look at. This auth CVS is probably some authentication thing that I don't know if I would look at, but it says it has Java on it. There's ServiceNow, which is great because I would take a look at those. More ServiceNow, and a couple of the dev QA UAT assets that it's also listing down here. And it's giving us some key attack surfaces like, hey, there are 15 non-prod environments, 9 APIs, non-authentication websites, 10 Java applications, 2 ServiceNow instances, and it has given us a spreadsheet for it. And if I scroll all the way down, it looks like it's done. It's asking us for next steps. If I switch over, this is actually from my Google Drive that I've opened up. I'm going to refresh it so you can see it as well. This is what it was created, and it is pretty decent, honestly. For our first one, being able to have this is a really good starting point, and I would have to test this out on a couple of other bug bounty programs, but this alone is a really good place to know, okay, these are the things that I want to start off with. And honestly, this is my approach to creating this prompt. That prompt may not cover what you want to hack on, but it's a great start, and I think there is something to do here. So don't worry, if you're looking for that prompt, I will link it down below in the comment section. Go and check it out. If you want to try this out and you have any comments of thinking, hey, you should try this thing, or this is something that I do with AI, let me know down below. I want to make more of these content, and I think there's something we can do here. Maybe I'll bring back the streams and we play around with this idea more. But so far, I'm genuinely impressed by the amount of data we can feed it and get some more assets out of it, especially given that we give it a small subset of domains, and being able to spit out all of this data for us, and also giving it a score and some reasoning and suggested actions as well. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, become a Nahomi, and I will see you all in next week's video. Peace.